Welcome back to the tutorial. I'm just picking up where the last tutorial left off using the Align and Distribute tool. So we've got these circles and I aligned them with their centers in a vertical format. So they're all in line based off the center. Now you notice that they're not evenly distributed all the way along. So I can get the computer to do it for me. So I can come under the three dots under Align. I get distribute options and I would like to distribute them all evenly from the centers and horizontally. You'll notice they've all locked into place now, so they're all evenly spread all the way apart. Now, if I want to create a grid of these, I can group them together. So right click, group, or I can hit Control G on my keyboard. Now you'll notice they won't not all individual, they come together. So now I can create direct copies, just holding Alt on my keyboard again, and I want another 6 rows. Okay, I can highlight them all and I'm going to use the Align tool again. So I'm going to align them on the left hand side, come underneath, use the Distribute tool, and I want to align them all vertically this time using the centers. And you'll notice they perfectly come into format to create a grid. Now I'm just going to reduce the size of these, hold Shift again to keep them locked to scale. You can do them freeform, but if I hold Shift, then everything stays in the correct place and scale. Excellent. Now, if you'd like to find an image online and use the image, you are able to bring it in and start to create some outlines for that image. And it uses the tool called Image Trace. So to do that, you need to have downloaded an image online. I've already done that. So I'm going to go File, Place, and find that image. Now I'm going to use this palm tree as an example. Now you'll notice the image I have found has individual components. Like you can see each of the fronds is separate from the stem, so it's really good to be able to laser cut out. For this, if there isn't a quick action down the bottom of Image Trace, you can come up under Windows and you can get that little add-on to stay. So if I come down to Image Trace, it'll pop up on the side over here. So if I select my item, I can click Image Trace down there, same thing. Or you can come up and I want to create a black and white image trace. Now what that has done is taken an image with pixels and turned it into vectors, which is what the laser cutter reads. So you'll notice that if I come and expand this item now, you'll notice that every component, if I use the direct selection tool, is an individual item that I can edit and manipulate. So I'm just going to delete my border. And you can see that I can move all of the little fronds because they're individual pieces. So I'm going to undo those. I can edit, I can use the direct selection tool, double click, and I come in and I can start to edit things if I want to. I can move them, manipulate them, etc. Now the laser cutter, if I come back to my main page, reads red lines. So if I would say this was my coaster and I wanted to laser cut out each of these individual pieces so you could see through them, I would need to make the fill go away and use the line. So I'm going to select, hold Shift and deselect that. I am going to change my fill and my stroke. So the fill is the center color, and I'm going to click, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click none. And then my outline, which is also called stroke in Illustrator, I'm going to change to red. Red's our cutting color. And you can see here that I've used red 255, green is 0, and blue is 0. That's pure red, that's what we call. Great, so I've got my item ready to go. Now, if you come back to this page, I have made a little key, and table ready for us up here. Now this is really important. If we want to cut things out, the laser cutter needs to have the color of the stroke to be red 255, blue 0, and green 0. So that's something like this example here. If I would like to engrave, so really fine, like this example down here, the color needs to be pure blue. So blue 255 this time. And if we would like to raster it, so etch it into the surface, like this example down here or up here, we want it to be pure black, which is 0 red, 0 blue, and 0 green. So coming over, we can change, I've set that color up nicely. The last thing the laser cutter needs is, if you want to cut something out, the stroke actually needs to have the thickness of 0.001. Okay, that should have made it all 0.001. You will notice if I come back to this page, 0.001 is really fine, and that's what the laser cutter needs to pick up. Same for the engrave down here. It's not letting me select it. There we go. Same for down here, 0.001 for the engrave. The raster can be as thick as you like, because it will just raster it based off the thickness. Okay, it'll turn anything that's black into an engraved, etched in line, I should say. There we go. That should give you a good introduction and lots of things to play around with Illustrator. A reminder again, if you do use the image trace tool, it would be excellent, rather than just ripping an image offline, that you would be able to start to manipulate, that you would start to create your own unique design, rather than just copying and pasting what's already been made and created for you. So it'd be great to see you, coming in and popping your own individual flair on a design that you've used image trace on. Have fun in Illustrator.